Baseball Extra Nation, are you ready for a playoff showdown that had everything? From record-tying home runs to nail-biting bullpen drama, tonight's National League Wild Card Series opener between the Reds and the Dodgers was an absolute roller coaster. If you thought you knew what playoff baseball was, think again. The Los Angeles Dodgers just set the tone in dominant fashion, and we're breaking down every single moment of their epic Dodgers win right here, right now. Welcome back to Baseball Extra. Tonight, under the bright lights of Chavez Ravine, a sense of electric anticipation filled the air for this pivotal National League Wildcard Series matchup. As the fans poured into the ballpark, all eyes were on two of the game's best. For the Dodgers, it was the formidable Blake Snell taking the mound, aiming to kick off their quest to defend their title. Snell, despite limited appearances due to shoulder inflammation earlier in the season, came in with a sparkling 2.35 ERA, a true ace when healthy. The Reds' offense, however, entered as a potent group, ranking 8th in the NL in runs per game. But there was one glaring weakness: their struggles against left-handed pitching. Would Snell exploit that? He certainly started off looking like it. The Reds' leadoff hitter, TJ Friedl, an on-base machine, stepped in. Snell, a notorious strikeout artist since his 2016 debut, wasted no time, blowing a pitch past Friedl for a punch-out to start the game. Talk about setting the tone. What makes Snell so lethal? It's his ability to make hitters chase. His stuff is so deceptively good that even pitches bouncing far in front of the plate still draw swings. Next up was Novi Mart, who swung at the first pitch and lifted a fly ball to left. Kike Hernandez, playing shallow, made an easy catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Unbelievable efficiency from Snell. Then came the real test. Miguel Anjar, Cincinnati's big trade deadline acquisition. Anjar had been on fire, hitting .359 with a .944 OPS in 34 games with the Reds. But Snell remained unfazed, inducing a flyout to center. Just like that, Blake Snell needed only 7 pitches to complete a pristine top of the first, putting up a big 0 against a dangerous Reds lineup. It was an absolute masterclass in early game pitching for the Dodgers. Now, let's talk about the other side of the ball. The Dodgers boasted the top offense in the National League, and they were set to face a hard-throwing right-hander, the kid from Los Angeles, Hunter Green. Green, like Snell, had also missed significant time this season due to a groin injury, but when he's on, he's one of the best. This was his moment, pitching at home in Dodger Stadium. Leading off for the Dodgers, the one and only Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani had only 1 hit against Green in his career, a triple, but also 3 strikeouts. This was power against power, a clash of titans to kick off the bottom of the first, and Ohtani delivered, as only Ohtani can. On a swing, he ripped a line drive to right field, and it was gone. A leadoff homer, a low liner that barely cleared the right field fence, and just like that, the Dodgers exploded for a 1-0 lead. The stadium absolutely erupted. What an incredible display of strength. Hitting a ball 118 miles per hour, matching Green's triple-digit velocity, turning around a pitch on the inner third. It just shows you what Ohtani is truly capable of. But the Dodgers weren't done. Mookie Betts followed with a base hit, bringing Freddie Freeman to the plate. Freeman drove a ball to left, but Hayes made the catch. 1 out. Hunter Green then got a strikeout, but the Dodgers kept pushing. Teoscar Hernandez hit a ground ball through the left side for a base hit, putting 2 runners on with 2 outs. The Dodgers were aggressive, putting pressure on Green early. Tommy Edman struck out to end the inning, but the damage was done. Ohtani's solo shot gave the Dodgers a 1-0 lead, and the tone was set for a high-octane offensive display. Back to the top of the second, and Blake Snell continued his masterful performance. He faced the heart of the Reds' order, and it was more of the same. He retired Hayes on a ground out to third. Steer, one of the few Reds with previous hits against Snell, drove a ball to left, but Kike Hernandez was there for the catch. And then, the highly anticipated matchup with LED De La Cruz. Snell dropped a wicked curveball at the knees for strike 3, leaving De La Cruz shaking his head. 6 up, 6 down for Blake Snell, and the Dodgers held their 1-0 lead. His pitch efficiency was simply remarkable, needing just 16 pitches for 6 outs. Snell's rhythm was undeniable. He retired 7 in a row to begin the game, showcasing his incredible command and array of pitches. It wasn't until the 3rd inning that the Reds finally broke through, not with power, but with speed. Matt M.C. Lane, batting 9th, ripped a ball down the left field line for an automatic double, the Reds' first hit of the game. Suddenly, there was a runner in scoring position. T.J. Friedl then drew a walk, putting runners on first and second with 2 outs. Could the Reds finally break through against Snell? Novi Mart stepped in, a young talent looking to make his mark. But Snell, ever the competitor, ended the threat with a changeup, striking out Mart for his 4th punch-out of the night. The Reds left 2 runners stranded, and the Dodgers still led 1-0. Blake Snell was making it look effortless. In the bottom of the 3rd, the Dodgers were back at it, and this time, they truly broke the game wide open. Hunter Green, visibly rattled, walked back-to-back batters with 1 out. The Dodgers had something cooking, and the dugout knew it was time to step on the gas against an inexperienced pitcher making his postseason debut. A wild pitch sent runners to second and third. Hunter Green was out of sorts, struggling to find the slot, and then it happened. Teoscar Hernandez, who had a base hit earlier, drilled the ball to left field, and it was gone. A 3-run blast. Hernandez unloaded, and the Dodgers suddenly had a commanding 4-0 lead. Dodger Stadium was absolutely shaking. Hernandez's ability to attack pitches outside the zone and still drive the ball is truly remarkable. He sat back on a slider, a pitch Green went to when he couldn't find the fastball, and Hernandez did not miss it. But the Dodgers weren't done yet. On the very next pitch, Tommy Edman stepped up and drove one towards the corner, and it was gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Dodgers. Tommy Tanks Edman added another, making it a staggering 5-0. This crowd was absolutely bananas. It's not easy to do this against a pitcher like Hunter Green, but the Dodgers showed incredible plate discipline, working the count early in the inning. Once Green became erratic, they knew he had to force pitches into the zone, and they stayed back perfectly on those back-to-back pitches. 2 homers in a span of just 3 pitches, pure playoff magic from the Dodgers. Green finally got a strikeout to end the inning, but 4 runs had crossed the plate. It was now 5-0 Dodgers, and this wildcard series was quickly turning into a rout. As we moved to the top of the 4th, Blake Snell continued his stellar performance. He picked up 2 more strikeouts, bringing his total to 6 through 4 scoreless innings. His high heat at 97 miles per hour was unhittable, and his fading fastball was making hitters swing at pitches inches outside the zone. It was a true masterpiece. Hunter Green's night was over after 3 innings, surrendering 5 runs and 3 home runs. Scott Barlow came out of the Reds bullpen and, to his credit, struck out the side in the 4th, trying to stop the bleeding. But Snell was simply unshakable. In the 5th, he faced LED La Cruz again and struck him out on a changeup. His 7th punch-out. Snell retired the Reds in order. His last 7 batters faced, completing 5 shutout innings. He was getting a standing ovation as he headed back to the dugout, and rightfully so. His changeup was absolutely money, starting in the zone and fading out, keeping the Reds hitters completely off balance. Back to the Dodgers offense in the bottom of the 6th, and Teoscar Hernandez proved his earlier blast was no fluke. He drilled a ball out towards right center field, and it was gone. His 2nd home run of the night. The Dodgers now led 6-0. Hernandez, a home run derby champion, showcased his power to all fields, hitting any pitch in any direction. Then, with 2 outs and a runner on, Shohei Ohtani stepped to the plate. He had struck out in his previous 2 at-bats, but everyone in Dodger Stadium knew what he was capable of. On a 1-1 pitch, Ohtani absolutely crushed a towering ball deep to right field. He flipped the bat, watched it fly, and it landed almost 3/4 of the way up the pavilion. Just a mammoth blast for his 2nd home run of the night. The Dodgers were pouring it on in Game 1, now leading 8-0. Ohtani is truly something else. Even his own bullpen was in awe, watching him change the game with one swing, doing things you've never seen before on a baseball field. He's never satisfied, always tacking on runs, and continues to blow our minds with what's possible in baseball. The inning continued with Mookie Betts drawing a walk after a 96 miles per hour fastball nearly hit him. This was the Dodgers' 5th home run of the game, tying a franchise record for the most homers in a single postseason game. Blake Snell was doing the rest on the mound, and the Dodgers were clicking on all cylinders. Into the top of the 7th, Blake Snell was still dealing, though the Reds did manage to get a couple more hits. Hayes singled, and Spencer Steer followed with a base hit, putting runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. The Reds were trying to chase Snell from the game. LED La Cruz then hit a ground ball, resulting in a fielder's choice, but he beat out the throw at first, scoring Hayes. The Reds were on the board, making it 8-1. Tyler Stevenson followed with a line drive double down the left field line, scoring De La Cruz. It was now 8-2. The Reds had put up a couple of runs, but Blake Snell was still the man of the hour, receiving a well-deserved standing ovation as he headed to the dugout after an incredible outing. However, In the bottom of the seventh, the Dodgers promptly grabbed those runs right back. A throwing error by Novi Mark on a flare single allowed another run to score, extending the lead back to 7. Then, Benny Biceps, Ben War, jumped on the first pitch for an opposite field single and an RBI. It was now 10-2 Dodgers. But then, things got a little shaky for the Dodgers bullpen. Alex Bassett walked 2 batters, and Dave Roberts had seen enough, pulling him after just 1 out. Edgardo Enriquez came in and promptly walked the bases loaded. Then, a walk to South Stewart forced in another run, making it 10-3. Enriquez just couldn't find the strike zone. Spencer Steer followed with a base hit, scoring another run. Dave Roberts was quick to pull Enriquez. Jack Dreyer entered with the bases loaded, and the Reds still rallying. Another walk forced in yet another run, making it 10-5. The tying run was suddenly on deck. The angst in the stadium was palpable. Dreyer, however, battled through a long at-bat against Tyler Stevenson, eventually getting a huge strikeout with a slider. He then got perky Brian Hayes to pop up to Freddie Freeman at first, finally ending a stressful, arduous, and far too long top of the 8th inning. The Dodgers maintained their lead, 10-5, but the bullpen had definitely stumbled. As we headed into the top of the 9th, the Dodgers turned to Blake Trinan to close things out against the bottom of the res order. Trinan, looking to settle things down, struck out the first batter with a backdoor sinker, sending Dodger Stadium into a frenzy. He then got a swinging strikeout for his second K, finishing Friedel with a sweeper. The Dodgers pitching staff had racked up an impressive 12 strikeouts on the night. Finally, with 2 outs, Miguel Anjar bounced the ball to third. Muncy scooped it up and threw on the run to Freddie Freeman at first. Freeman stepped on the bag, and that was it. A win for LA. The Dodgers' offense absolutely mashed, racking up 15 hits, including those 5 home runs that tied a franchise record for the most in a single postseason game. They scored a phenomenal 10 runs, backed by 7 strong innings from Blake Snell. The bullpen certainly stumbled in the 8th, but ultimately, the Dodgers secured a dominant Game 1 victory in this National League wildcard series. What a statement win for the Dodgers. This team showed tonight that they are not only capable of putting up big numbers on offense, but also have the pitching to shut down opponents when it counts. The combination of Shohei Ohtani's explosive power, the clutch hitting of Teoscar Hernandez and Tommy Edman, and Blake Snell's early game dominance proved too much for the Cincinnati Reds. This sets a fantastic precedent for the rest of the series. If you missed this game, you missed a classic. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this recap and found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe to Baseball Extra for all the latest playoff news, highlights, and in-depth analysis. We'll be here for every pitch, every home run, and every thrilling moment of the postseason. Thanks for watching.